Man, I tell you, I was out golfing yesterday, and it dawned on me that, yeah, fall is quickly approaching, and the NFL regular season has technically already started. That's crazy, man. It's just amazing how you flow from the regular season to the playoffs to free agency to the draft. You get a little bit of a break, and then here comes training camp in the preseason. Before you know it, bam, Bob's your uncle. You're back to another regular season. So, on that note, as a result, it's time for me to kick back up with my weekly pick series. I wouldn't exactly take what I say for the gospel by any stretch of the imagination, but I have some fun doing this, so I'm going to do it again this year. So, sometime each week during the regular season, probably either Friday nights or Saturday afternoon, evening, I'll release my weekly picks, which is me picking the winners and picking the spread. So what that'll look like is, for example, if we look at the Thursday and Friday matchups from week one, it was Baltimore versus Kansas City. Kansas City was favored by 3. I picked Baltimore +3, which means I picked them not only to cover, but to win. Then you look at Green Bay versus Philadelphia. Um, I had Philly -1.5, which means that I'm picking Philly to win and cover that 1.5 spread. Now, sometimes I'll have a situation where the spread will be big enough where I'm like, yeah, I think that team will win, but they will also won't be able to cover the spread. So you might hear me say like, hey, this team wins, this team covers the spread, right? So it's my way to explain or shout out who I think is going to win, and then what's important for I think for a lot of people is who's going to cover the damn spread. But anyways, yeah. So let's get to my week one picks. As I mentioned Thursday night, I wasn't confident that Kansas City would come out and start strong. They started off strong enough, obviously, to beat the Ravens. So oopsie daisies on that one. At least I nailed the Philadelphia pick. At least I can say this about the two games. Uh, they were interesting, competitive, came down to the fourth quarter. I'm still having trouble getting into the flow of it. Once we get to Sunday, and which is where we're at now, is the time of this recording, and quickly approaching bear down time. Oh, you thought I was going to say something else. What else did you think I was going to say? Hmm? Bears football! See, I'm going to do that now just to troll all of you, and you have to sit there and be like, God damn, hurt my ears. And that's what you get. Anyways, let's get to my other picks. I'll start off with the Sunday early action. You've got Tennessee traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Will Levis versus Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams' debut in the regular season in a Chicago Bears uniform. Sounds like the Bears will be without Keenan Allen. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But anyways, Bears are favored by 3.5. I will take Chicago minus the 3.5. Bear down, bitches! Let's start off strong. You've got Russell Wilson and the Steelers. I think Russell Wilson's starting. They were talking about a calf problem, but let's assume for a moment it's Russell Wilson and the Steelers traveling to Atlanta to take on Raheem Morris's Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, oh boy. Ugh. You got Atlanta favored by 3.5. You know what? I'll take Pittsburgh plus the 3.5 in this one because fuck it. It's week one of the regular season. Lots of crazy shit can happen. We really don't know what these teams are going to look like when it starts to matter. You've got the Cardinals traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills favored by 6.5. I like Buffalo to win, but give me Arizona to backdoor cover or some shit, that 6.5 spread. New England, who for some reason thinks it's a good idea to waste opportunities to give Drake May playing time so you could start Jacoby Brissett on what you know is going to be a bad fucking football team already. Traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Give me the Bengals minus the 7.5. Um, Early season interesting matchup. Week one started off gate strong. Houston traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. CJ Stroud versus Anthony Richardson. That should be a fun one. Give me Houston minus a 3. Jacksonville traveling to Miami to take on Tua and the Dolphins. You got a matchup of quarterbacks that just got their bag. Trevor Lawrence got paid. Tua got paid. Good for them. Get every fucking dollar you can. The Dolphins are favored by 3.5 in this one. You know, I hope the Devon A. Chain stays healthy this year because seeing a full season of that Dolphins offense with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Devon A-Chain. That's speed, just incredible stuff, and I hope we get to see it for more than bits and spurts in 2024. Give me the Dolphins minus the 3.5. You've got Bryce Young and under new head coach Dave Canellis traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints are favored by 4 in this one. I have to venture a guess that with their new head coaching hire, what they've invested on the offensive side of the ball, that the Panthers are going to be an improved team this year. All jokes aside about them making one of the worst draft trades of all time, and they certainly did, right? But in week 1, keep pounding, Panthers! No, in this case, I actually think they've got a shot here. So give me Carolina to win plus the 4. Minnesota travels to New York to take on the Giants. Boy, that feels like a game that's going to suck. Sam Darnold versus Daniel Jones. If you wanted to sit there and watch mayonnaise mediocrity, there you fucking go. I don't know. Give me the Giants plus the 1.5 because fuck the Vikings. Skull. Hey, you got it all year, didn't you? Let's move on to the late afternoon games. You've got the Raiders traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. And surely there'll probably be more Raiders fans than Chargers fans. Give me the Chargers minus the 3. You've got Denver traveling to Seattle to take on Mike McDonald's Seahawks. Seattle's favored by 6. I guess I'll take the Seahawks minus the 6. Dallas travels to Cleveland to take on the Skid Marks. Yeah! With the Browns favored by 2.5. This is one of these ones where I guess that could go that way. But then I also remember, Deshaun Watson. I'll take Dallas plus the 2.5. Washington, the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, his first start. Dan Quinn, man in the helm, traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield got his bag. Mike Evans returns. Levante David returns. Give me Tampa Bay minus the 3.5. The Sunday night matchup should be a really good, intriguing one, obviously, right? Matthew Stafford taking on his former team in Detroit and the Lions, a rematch of the wild card round where the Lions were able to squeak past the Rams. Should be a good one. Lions favored by 4.5. Certainly seem poised to be a contender again in the NFC this year. Give me Detroit to win, but the Rams to cover the 4.5 point spread. And then you've got the Monday night matchup. You've got Aaron Rodgers against the team that had been his daddy for a number of years when he was in Green Bay and the San Francisco 49ers. What are you going to get out of Aaron Rodgers? Because his last great season was 2021. He was starting to look a little on the downslide side in 2022. Then he played literally 4 snaps in 2023 before his Achilles snap. And now he's going to be a 41-year-old this year at some point, trying to recapture his glory of 3-4 years ago. I'm just not buying it. Can be proven wrong, certainly, right? And if there was a quarterback that could prove me wrong, it certainly would be him. However, I'll believe it when I see it kind of deal with Aaron Rodgers. Give me San Francisco to win. I will take the Jets to cover the 4-point spread because what the fuck, why not? So those are my picks for week 1. You can sit there and tell me in the comments who you're picking week 1. Let's have some fun. Football's back, baby!